What's up, guys, and welcome back here at the Bartender Hideout for yet another episode of the Cocktail Countdown. Today, we will be talking about your favorite cocktail. It's cocktail number 47, and it's going to be the White Lady. Um, as you know, when I'm talking about the Cocktail Countdown, we're talking about Drinks International top 50 most popular drinks of 2020. And when I say we, obviously, I'm talking about the old man. He will be giving you a little bit of the history, tell you where this cocktail is from, and afterwards, as you know, I'll be making the cocktail and tasting it for you guys, so I can give you a little bit insight on that front. But for now, let's kick it over to the old man.
Ah, hi there, and welcome back to Storytime with me, Uncle Bob. Today we will be having a chat about the White Lady. The White Lady actually is one of those cocktails again that has multiple claimees for whoever made up this cocktail. The main person that looks like they created it is actually Harry McCallum, who supposedly created this in 1919 when he was working in Ciro's Club in London. Um, the original recipe for this drink was made with a creme de menthe, and then in 1923, when he actually owned his own bar, the world famous Harry's New York bar in Paris, um, back when he had that, he actually swapped out the creme de menthe for gin, which we more or less know it now in this recipe. Then the other claimant for this drink is Harry Craddock, which is obviously also a legendary bartender that we've had multiple episodes on as well. Um, Supposedly, he created this drink when he was working in the American bar in the Savoy in London, and um, he also takes some credit and actually publishes this drink or a version of this drink in 1930 in his now famous book, the Savoy Cocktail Book. And the only thing he really did is increase the gin in this cocktail. Then another big player in creating this cocktail in a way was Peter Dorelli, and what he did was he was actually a bartender as well at the American bar. And what he did was he added some egg white or a dash of egg white at least to make sure that the cocktail binds perfectly or a little bit better and has a more smooth aftertaste or a smooth taste in general. And I think that's most of the guys that actually claim to have created this drink. I think we can uh, mainly say Harry McCallum gets most of the credit for this one. Besides that, actually find out that this supposedly was the favorite drink of Laurel and Hardy. And if you don't know who those people are, make sure to ask your grandpa because he might know. Besides that, I think who might also not know who these Laurel and Hardy fellows are. It's good. Let's throw it over. Back to him.
Hi there, and welcome back from Uncle Bob. Okay, so let's get started with this cocktail, shall we? For the White Lady, obviously, we're gonna be needing some glassware. I'm gonna be getting to that once we're almost ready with the cocktail, because as you know, I have them cooled down already in the fridge. If you need to get that glass cold, make sure to grab a coupe glass, already fill it with water and ice cubes or some crushed ice, whatever you want to do to make sure that that glass is nice and cold. Um, but besides that, we're gonna have to start shaking this one. So let's grab our trusty shaker, of course, and we'll be adding our ingredients. So as a main ingredients, I will be using Tanqueray number 10. I think I've showcased this in another couple of episodes. Very nice gin that definitely works in cocktails like these, at least in my opinion. So that is a definite go-to for me for a White Lady. So we'll start off with 45 milliliters of that, or an ounce and a half of the gin. Then for our next ingredient, another one that we've been seeing a lot. Actually, I think all of these ingredients we've been seeing a lot in these episodes. So we're going back to our Cointreau or our triple sec, whichever it is. They both work. They're actually basically the same thing. So let's add 20 milliliters of that, or 3/4 of an ounce. And then for our next ingredient, as you know, a lot of cocktails include our citrus juices, so this one included as well. And for this cocktail, we'll be adding 30 milliliters of lemon juice, freshly squeezed. Obviously, we want to get as many or as much flavor as we can into this cocktail, so definitely squeeze it as fresh as you can, just to get as much flavor as we can as well. So 30 milliliters of that, or 1 ounce. And then we have our sugarcane syrup, basically also a staple in a lot of cocktails. And for the White Lady, we're gonna be needing 15 milliliters, or half an ounce for this one. And then we have one final ingredient, which is, in this recipe, it's optional. It doesn't get used all the time. I think it does wonders for the flavor personally. If you're not a big fan of egg white, which is the ingredient I'm talking about in this case, you can definitely leave this one out. It's gonna be closer to like a Tom Collins. It's gonna be closer to like a gin fizz, those kind of cocktails. That's kind of what you can compare it to a little bit more. With this one, you obviously get a little bit more of the sour vibes on red sour, whiskey sour, that creaminess that we want. So for this one, I really enjoy having that. So we'll add our egg white. There we go. Obviously, we don't need the egg yolk, so that can go as well. And that is all our ingredients in our shaker. So as you know, let's add some ice. Ice in the shaker. Let's put the top on, give it a little tap, make sure that it's nice and stuck, and let's give it a shake. There we go. And as well, for the people that have been watching more of these cocktail countdown videos, as you know, when we shake with egg white, we want to do a double shake. So we'll be making sure that we pour all of this out for now, and get rid of the ice, since we want to just kind of aerate this egg white to make sure it gets nice and frothy. It's like almost like whipping up whipped cream, right? Just to get that air in there, just to give it that nice and foamy texture that we want. So obviously doesn't sound as interesting, but doesn't make it any less important in that way. There you go. That should be more than enough. And then it's about time to get our glass. Otherwise, we can't just pour it over the bar, obviously. So let's get our cocktail into our glass. And if we did it right, we get that nice and foamy egg white layer on top. Once it sits here for a little bit, you can see that it's actually gonna separate as well. So right now it kind of looks like a big white creamy mess, but it's gonna separate, get a nice layer of foam on top, and that is gonna look beautiful. And as a garnish, I think in general people use lemon zest a lot of the times. Since it's called the White Lady, I think we can go a little bit more ladylike in this way and add like a nice little flower, nice little violet, just to make it look that little bit of extra ladylike. But there you go, guys. That is our White Lady. Okay, so let's test this one. As you can see, it's nice and separated now as well, so you get a nice thick layer there. Yeah. I mean, obviously, as part of our research here, we had to see which is the better cocktail, which makes it the better cocktail. We did a version with the egg white, we did a version without the egg white. And I think for me, the one with egg white just shines a little bit more. Since with the other one, um, even though it's not completely the same, I still get more of those gin fizz, Tom Collins kind of vibes. And with this one, it kind of seems to be like a cocktail on its own. Like the creaminess of the egg white, you get just that Cointreau coming through just a little bit, and just the citrus in there is actually really nice. Obviously, with the citrus and the sugar balancing it out nicely, and then you have the Tanqueray gin that kind of all melts it together or blends together, which makes it all around a pretty good cocktail. Again, which you would expect in a list like this. I mean, top 50 cocktails of the world. So yeah, I think it definitely deserves a spot on this list. And as I implore you guys so much to do, definitely go out and try this one yourself. See what you like more. See if you like the egg white version more or the non-egg white version as well. If you figure that one out, let me know in the comments because I'd love to know. Um, but besides that, I think that's all I have for this week for you guys when it comes to the White Lady. For one, let me know what you think of the video, obviously, and also like and subscribe if you think we are doing a good job. And yeah, I think that's all I've got for you this week. So definitely see you guys next week. Ciao.